Hey folks, it is Lee from the Upper Darby Township Library, and we are here with our first online STEM Shenanigans program this fall. So today we are going to be testing out a couple of simple machines. You guys might remember stuff about simple machines from school, but if you don't, we'll go over them real quick. There's 6 kinds of simple machines, and they're really the basis for every kind of more complex machine that we use, right? So I have little illustrations here. The first one is a wheel and axle. The axle is the fixed part that the wheel rotates on, right? And this allows you to move things more easily from one place to another, right? Because you can put it on, fix something to the wheel and the axle and use it to roll something to somewhere else, right? So think cars, think bikes, think anything that uses a wheel, but also think like mills and things like that that use a wheel, a rotating thing, to get something done or to move something from one place to another. So wheels. A screw, right? You can use these to fix one thing to another by screwing it in, and it has these grooves that draw the things together. Also, there's lots of things that use sort of like a screw sort of motion and rotate something in that way. So screws work in both of those kind of ways. A lever, right? So you've got something with a triangle on the base, a fulcrum, right, is what that's called. And then you've got this sort of long flat thing that you can put a heavy thing on one side and then exert some force on the other side, and it really decreases the amount of force that you have to use to lift the heavy thing on the other side. So think a seesaw, think things that use levers, right? But a good basic example that we use as kids is a seesaw, right? Certainly they're used in more complex ways as well, as we'll see today. A wedge. So you might use a wedge if you are chopping wood or something like that, like an axe is a wedge, basically. Sometimes folks who are chopping wood put a standalone wedge, sort of in the piece of wood and then use an axe or a hammer to sort of drive it down in there. But an axe itself is a wedge, right? So again, it sort of allows you to break apart something using less force than you would need to like pry it apart, for instance, right? Or less force than you would even need to use like a thin knife, right? That would take a lot of force, but with a wedge, you can really like use the triangular nature of it to drive it apart. An inclined plane, right? So think ramps and things like that that allow you to push something up or down without as much effort as you would need to like bump it up a set of stairs or carry it in your arms or something like that, right? And last but not least, a pulley. So a pulley allows you, again, to lift something heavy using less force than you would need to, like, with your arms carry it up a thing. And in fact, you can combine pulleys and it takes more rope or more string or more of whatever substance you're using, but it, by combining the pulleys and sort of multiplying them, it decreases the amount of force that you need to lift the heavy thing or move the heavy thing, right? So all of these machines, these simple machines, get combined to make all kinds of things, right? From cars to elevators to, printing presses, all of these things that are super complex, right? But that we use all the time and are necessary for everything that we do, but they all have their basis on these 6 simple machine concepts, right? So what we're gonna do today is make a couple of like fun, playful little objects or toys, machines that utilize a couple of different types of simple machines. So the first one that we're gonna make is like a jump rope machine, okay? So the end goal is that it's gonna look something like this little guy right here, right? And so you've got in your kit, if you got a kit, If you don't have a kit, you can come pick one up from the seller's library. You've got some construction paper, you've got a piece of cardboard as your base, you've got a piece of wire, you've got a toilet paper roll to affix to the cardboard to be sort of the post that we're gonna affix it to. So you've got all your materials. Things that you will need from home include scissors, a pencil, which is really just for poking holes. So if you have something else that you want to use to poke holes, if you have a sharp pair of scissors, for instance, that you'd rather use that to poke holes, go for it. Whatever you've got. Just be safe, right? Be sensible, be safe. Don't poke your fingers. But you'll need something to poke some holes in some cardboard. You'll need some glue or some good tape. That's also fine. I've got both. I've got tape, and what we're really going to use this for mostly is wrapping around the ends of the wires, because the wires are kind of sharp on the ends, and I, again, don't want you to hurt yourself, right? So we're going to get started. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cardboard as my base, and I'm going to take my toilet paper roll. And first I'm going to poke holes in both sides of the top of this toilet paper roll, so that I don't have to do it once I've glued it on here. But so I'm going to take this and try to be careful and not to poke the heck out of myself, but wish me luck. There we go. All right, so I've got a decent hole there, and I'm going to come across and do it about the same distance on the opposite side. So your goal is like a ½ an inch-ish from the top, okay? To give yourself enough stability, but also enough room to have something fun. All right. Okay, there we go. So I've got 2 holes, same distance from the top, opposite sides. Awesome. I am now going to glue this down so that while I'm making the rest of my creation, it has time for the glue to set. All right, so I'm just going to put a good, well, hopefully, yep. And you can use whatever glue you got at home. If you've got a glue stick, cool. If you've got, you know, I don't know, rubber cement, whatever, use what you got. I happen to have this. So I'm going to actually make a bigger circle here. Maybe I'll put some on this guy as well, just to make sure. Alrighty, so gonna fix that there and let it rest so that the glue can dry. Let me show you what I'm doing. See, they need to be parallel to the length of the cardboard because you want it to be able to come out here and rotate here. Okay. All right, so, and you've got these instructions in your kit as well. So what you want to do, now that we've punched our holes, we have our toilet paper attached to our cardboard. Cool, cool, cool. So you can use a ruler to do this. I think I'm going to eyeball it. I might end up wanting a ruler. We'll see. But what you want to do now is take your wire. And again, this is pretty thick wire. So just be careful with it. I'm going to go ahead and put tape on the ends so that I don't hurt myself. And I suggest you do the same. So like I said, I'm just going to put a good layer over the ends so that they are not sharp and dangerous. Because science can be sharp and dangerous, but let's be real, it doesn't have to be in this case. So that's one end, pretty well protected, safe. Other end, gonna do that now. All right, cool, cool, cool. So, now, what we wanna do is we wanna take the wire and bend the last, so I'm gonna bend it out or unkink it So I've got one long straight wire, more or less. It's gonna be a little bit crooked, but that's hopefully all right. We'll find out. It should be fine. All right, so I've got a long straight wire here. Ta-da! All right, so I'm gonna take the last like third of it and bend it into like an L shape. Okay, great. And then I've got the longer half, right? And I'm gonna put a curve in it, all right? And I want the curve to be not quite as long as my toilet paper roll is tall, okay? So, because what I want to have happen here is I want a curve that comes out from it, but doesn't quite touch the cardboard base, okay? Because if it touches a cardboard base, then it's not gonna turn, right? We want it to be able to rotate on above the cardboard base, but not actually touch it, because if it touches it, it's not gonna turn. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is about yay big, all right? So, and that from here gets me to about an inch above my tape. Okay, so that's my goal. It's like to have a curve that goes down to a little above an inch above my tape. Okay, cool. That should work. All right, great. So I've got a curve. That should be fine. Good deal. Yeah, great. I believe that will work. And, okay, thread the uncurved end of the wire through the hole, 2 holes in the tube. Okay. Interesting. You know what, I think I need this curve to be, I want to look ahead in my directions so that I'm not telling you all wrong. Where on earth does the, oh, okay. All right, so actually what I need to do is put this curve in a different place. I'm glad I read ahead. Okay, so I'm gonna straighten this guy back out. That's the cool thing about wire. So I actually want this curve to be down here. Okay. So I still want it to be about the same length, right? Is that about right? That's maybe a little bit long. It's like a little bit longer than my fingers are measuring. So I want to move that up a bit. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So that should work. All right, cool, cool. And then what I need to do is thread the uncurved end of the wire through the 2 holes in the tube. Okay. So hopefully this will go through with my tape on it. If not, I might have to take the tape off and we'll just see how it goes. I want to be able to, I don't really understand why I've already made my L shape in here, but whatever, I'm going to un-L shape it for this and push it through. Come on, come on. Oh, all right, there we go. Okay. And then I'll put my L shape back in it. And you can see that my glue is not sticking, so I might have to give this longer to dry, and that's fine. So, all right. But so the question is, and maybe it's just that my wire is like extra long for this, and that's fine. But it does turn, and it will rotate once I adjust this end. Okay, cool. So, all right. So I'm going to continue to let this dry over to the side. because otherwise we're never gonna get there. All right, cool. So, So what we're eventually gonna do is make like a D shape, sort of like this shows you in the wire. But I'm not gonna do that right now because I wanna do other things while the glue is drying. If your glue is dried, go for it. Whatever, no problem. If you like, you know, watched part of this video and did your glue part the night before, and now you're coming back to do the rest of it, awesome, go for it. But I'm gonna let my glue dry. So let's see, what we need to do is I am going to make my little figure who's gonna jump rope on this bad boy. So I'm going to take my purple construction paper and I am going to draw, I'm just gonna draw like a simple gingerbread dude. You can do whatever you want. Look, if you wanna draw a pterodactyl or a triceratops or, I don't know, an armadillo and make that your figure, please do. And also show me pictures because I wanna see them. But I'm gonna do just a gingerbread because I'm not that good at art and I'm gonna do this quickly. So, ta-da! All right, and then what I'm gonna do to make things simpler, because you wanna have two halves so that you can like tape it or glue it on both sides of the wire. I'm just gonna fold in half and cut out both sides at the same time. So back to my scissors. Now I'm gonna cut this out. All right, so I have two gingerbread people. Ta-da! Awesome. Okay, so what I need to do now is with the what I need to do now is make my D shape with my wire, okay? So I'm gonna bring it this way. I'm gonna take it back out of the toilet paper roll. All right, cool. This poor glue is never gonna dry. It doesn't stand a chance. All right, so now what I need to do is, here's my curve, okay? Is my gingerbread person gonna fit in here? I hope so. If not, we might have to adjust. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, cool. Yeah, see? Good. All right, cool. So now what I need to do is make a D shape with the rest of this wire. Okay, great. And then what I'm gonna do is cut a piece of straw, which you have in your kit, to fit right here. And then we're gonna tape, let's be real because glue is not drying today for me, tape this guy on the straw so that he can turn. Let's see. Straw. All right, here we go. So I want my straw, and again, if you have a ruler and you want to be super professional about this and exact, please do. I'm gonna wing it and eyeball it because that's the person that I am. So there's my straw. Right there. All right, cool. So I slide the straw on. Again, hopefully it fits over my tape. It does. All right, great. And now I'm gonna wrap this end around here, and I'm gonna do it like, I'm gonna do it up like this so that it doesn't get in the way of my person trying to go. And hopefully that'll work. All right, so now I'm gonna use tape, and I'm gonna tape this guy onto the straw, okay? And again, I wanna have plenty of space so that my little person's legs don't get stuck, right? So here we go. Find the end of this tape. Oh boy. This tape is smarter than me today and stronger. All right, here we go. So again, I want to make sure that my legs aren't going to get stuck. There we go. I think that would be good. Oh man, this is a lot of things to do at once. All right, cool. All right. So I've got the first half. Hopefully this is gonna. All right, this is not gonna turn. So I'm gonna tape them up higher. So that there's room for their like arms to swing around and all that good jazz. Again, just like trial and error till you get it right. Okay, I think that'll work. Let's see. I might have to make my arms shorter. And if I do, then I do. All right, and then I'm gonna tape the other half on there some kind of way. So I'm just gonna tape these legs together, I think, because that's the easiest way to go about it at this point. And there, now my little person has like a little skirt on. That's cute. All right, cool. So, and maybe I'll take the head together too. And I'll have a little headband. Or a little balaclava because it's cold outside. Give him a little hat. Have a little hat. All right, cool. So we have our person. They're ready to jump rope, I think. All right. Again, my arms might not work. See how this is hitting and not like moving the way it needs to. So I think I am gonna go ahead and make my arms shorter, which is gonna make my person look a little silly, but maybe I'll make their arms thinner as well so it's not quite so obvious that they're just very short arms. And the other side. Look, my construction paper gingerbread person is not like anatomically to proportion, but whatever. Okay, so I think it's still like hitting a little bit. So this person is just like, you know what? I can make my curve a little bit bigger, is what I can do. That's a thing that I can do. So I'm gonna make my curve a little bit wider. Ta-da! Look at that. It's wider, and they're gonna fit now. Awesome. Okay. Rebend my jam, my wire. All right, cool. Oh, they're a little bent now, but that's all right. We're good. Oh, they're a little top heavy. Whatever. We're gonna see how this goes. They're doing some gymnastics, and I love it. Okay. All right, so we are ready. We are ready to affix this back to our cardboard contraption and hope that the glue is dry enough for this to work. And if not, I'm just going to hold it down and we are going to go for it. Here we go. So I'm going to put my wire back through here. Okay. All right. And I'm going to make this into a handle. And let's see what this baby can do. Let's sort of unkink this wire here. All right, let's do it. So it's a little janky. Let's see if you can actually see that. You can't. Let's fix that. All right. Oh lordy. Okay, so let's see if I can straighten out this wire a bit. So it can move a little bit better. Okay. All right, cool. So we turn it, and yeah, like I said, our person is upside down because they're top heavy. Whatever. They're doing their gymnastics, and I love it. But yeah, it's working. It's totally working. So this is an example of a couple of simple machines. This is kind of like a wheel and axle situation. And also like this situation is kind of a wheel and axle situation, right? And there's some screwing motion going on. So yeah, can you think of any other machines that are represented by this? I would love to hear about it. I'm not an expert, so please tell me what you think. But anyway, I think our little dude is pretty cool. And that's what I got for you. We are going to do the other one next. But I'm going to set this aside and readjust my stuff, and then we'll do the other one. Hey folks, so we are going to do the second simple machine little toy situation here. So you want to use your same wire, so go ahead and take it out of your other guy, or you can just choose one or the other and do just one of the machines. That's fine too. Or you can get, if you have any like wire hangers or anything like that, you can use that. Whatever you want to do. I took mine apart so that I could use my same wire. And I also realized as I was doing it that the reason that my jumping rope dude was top heavy was because I forgot that you have a material in your kit to make your person less top heavy, which is paper clips. So if your dude is top heavy, your creature is top heavy, put paper clips on their feet. And I bet it's gonna work. Like I said, I already took mine apart so I can't show you, but try it. That should work. Now, we are gonna make a different machine now using this box as a base. So the box that your kit came in, use it. So we're gonna take everything out. At this point, I just have construction paper and paper clips in here. Oh, and another straw, but I don't think I'll need the other straw. That was just for extra, just in case. So I'll take everything out. And Yeah, so I could have used all these paper clips on my little dude's feet. And I bet he would have stood upright, but whatevs. Okay, so I have my box. I'm gonna cut off, you know what, I'm not gonna worry about cutting off the flaps. It's fine. You're just gonna set it down like this, right? Okay, awesome. Let me do this so you can see me. Like this, okay, awesome. So we are gonna build a dual motion machine toy thing and again, you can use your construction paper to make whatever thing you want to make. If you want to make two people boxing, do it. If you want to make two boats, do it. If you want to make people running away from each other, if you want to make bears, whatever you want to do it. If you want to make dinosaurs fighting, cool, go for it, awesome. But at the end, and if you want to decorate it more than that, please do. But at the end, if it is very decorated, it's going to look something like that. See the two little boats sticking out the top, right? Okay, awesome. So that's our goal. So, we want to we want to mark the middle of the top of the box, okay? Actually, no. We want to mark the middle of the width of the smaller end of the box, okay? So my box is like kind of squarish, but this is the smaller side, okay? So I'm gonna mark it here. Okay, yeah, that's sort of a mark. Okay, and then you wanna do the height, okay? So you've got the width, which is gonna line up with your, probably gonna line up with your flaps at the top, right? The middle of those. And then the height. And again, I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it. So here's my X marks the spot. Middle. Okay, awesome. You're gonna need that for later. So then we're gonna poke a hole right there. Now, because this is a cardboard box, I'm gonna use scissors for this job. Because I think a pencil is gonna be too hard. There we go, so I've got a hole, great. And I can widen it a bit with the pencil. Because I'm gonna get some maneuverability room there, great. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, all right? So my width, middle is like here, and that also looks like that looks like the middle of my box. So again, you can measure this. I'm eyeballing it. Make a hole there. Great. Okay, now slide your wire on through all the way. Find your hole on the other side. Right. Okay, find the hole on the other side. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so got that. Great. All right, so we're going to take some of the wire that's in the box and make a big Z in it, okay? So you can sort of see me do this. I'm going to bend it like so, okay? So you've got that kind of situation going on, okay? Great. All right, there's room for it to move. We've got a big, deep Z. It's gonna work. All right, awesome. And then we're gonna take this side and turn it into a crank, okay? Like that. So again, you're just sort of making like a Z kind of like a square Z kind of shape. All right, so you can turn your chrome. All right, awesome. Okay, great. Now, so now on the lid of the box, back to our top, we are going to mark a spot that is 1/2 inch away from the short side of the box. And, okay, so 1/2 inch away from the short side of the box here. And 2.5 inches away from the long side. Okay, so like right about here. Okay, and we're gonna make a hole. Great. And then widen it with the pencil. Great. That's what I'm doing. Great. Make it a good decent size hole that you can maneuver with. Great. And we'll do this over here the same. Okay, awesome. All right, so what we're going to use now is some more of our paper clips. All right, and we're going to unbend them so that they are straight-ish, you know, as straight as a paper clip can go. Great. So I've got 1 and 2. Okay, and now what I'm going to do here is poke these through the hole. I see. Okay. So what I need to do here is adjust my holes, because what happened was that there's these inside flaps. Again, this is some trial and error, right? And what happened was that they got pushed as I was making my hole. And so the hole on the inside here is like pretty far from where the hole on the outside of the box. So I'm just gonna fix that. So I'm actually gonna stick with where these holes are, partially just because it's gonna be easier. All right, so that just sort of makes my hole on the outside bigger, which is fine. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Make sure my holes are lining up. You can see my pencil coming through. And that hole seems like it lines up pretty reasonably. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is take our paper clips and all right, so what I actually need to do is stretch out my bends here a little bit, so they don't want to be quite as square. All right, so I've got one here, and I'm going to fix my paper clip here. And sort of bend it around it, twist it so that it'll stay. Okay. And then, is that going to fit through my hole? Yeah. Okay. Kind of barely. What I might need to do is, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my straw and tape it to my, tape the rest of this to my paper clip in here, so that it can make my stick longer, okay? Because right now these paper clips aren't really wanting to fit through the hole and like move up and down when they go through the hole. So I think we need more length. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully my straw will fit through here, and if not, I just need to make my hole bigger. Either way, it's fine. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna make my hole a little bit bigger so that it allows my straw to move better. And that's fine. So I'm just gonna sort of like use some strength to get in there good. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side so that, see how my hole is a little bit bigger now than it was before. So we'll do that on the other side as well. So that the straw has room to move. All right, cool. So I think, hopefully, that'll work out, yeah? Let's see. Yeah, I feel like the straw is gonna have room to move through there. Certainly through here. I might make this one a little teeny tiny bit bigger. All right, cool. That should work. All right, let's try this again. So I've got one paper clip on here. I'm gonna get the other one on here. So again, just sort of twisting it around one of the bends here. So it's gonna stay on here. All right, cool. So I've got that. I've got that, and then I'll put my, I've got, where'd my other straw go? Here it is. Okay, cool. So I've got one straw here, and the other straw, put it through here and attach it to this paper clip. Alright, awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna need to tape my straws to my paper clip because otherwise they are just gonna come out. So let's do that. I'll do that hopefully so you can see it a little bit in here. So I'm gonna do this one first, and I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna tape around the base here. See what happens. Push the tape around so that it gets a good fix. Alright, cool. Alright, great. And then same thing over here. Get that back in there. And we'll see how that works. And like, honestly, can you imagine building like early machines and having to be like, huh, this wheel that's square doesn't seem to roll quite right, or this screw that doesn't have the grooves in a like specific pattern doesn't seem to like be doing the thing that I want it to do. So really, like, you know, we are building machines and we are doing it by trial and error, just like, you know, the first people to build these kinds of machines did. So, you know, it's all good. All right, so cool. So let's make some sort of contraptions to go on our posts here. So I'm just gonna do like a simple boat because again, like creative artwork is not my strong suit. So I'm just gonna do something super simple. All right, and I'm going to do this on 2 pieces of paper, and I'm going to do my same trick of just like cutting them both at the same time. It's not much of a trick, but it's what I've got. All right, I'm gonna like pretend that these are Viking longboats or something super serious. Awesome. All right, so back to my trusty tape. Number 1. Come on, tape, don't defeat me now. All right, good enough. Number 2. And let's see what we can do. Yeah, so they both are kind of like rowing on the waves, right? That is pretty cool. And it's because it's like, you know, there's a wheel motion happening here, a wheel and axle. There is a lever down in there that is pushing them up and down. So yeah, using different kinds of simple machines, we can make fun things like this that actually function, such as they are. So thank you so much for embarking on this fun journey with me today. I hope that you enjoyed exploring simple machines. I certainly did. I feel very much like an early inventor using my trial and error. So thank you for joining me for STEM Shenanigans today. I hope that you had fun, and we'll see you back next month. Take care.